Welcome back, everybody, to the H3 podcast here with Jake Paul, Ela Cloners, and our new guest who just sat down with us, Chris Wolfe of KTLA, who broke the original story with Jake, who was gracious enough to join us today and have a little, I say intervention, but that's a joke. It's not an intervention.
It's a rendezvous.
Yeah, it's a rendezvous. It's more of a rendezvous. But you had something first that you wanted to share with us?
Yes. There were a lot of requests. Shoes.
What are those?
They are.
Actually, I
These are the ones.
have those in my notes to ask you what are those.
Bostonian
They're
shoes.
Bostonians.
Yeah.
They're great. I wasn't
Nice
insulting you.
shoes. Well, it's a meme. You know that.
It's
right?
yeah.
Okay.
I found that out shortly
Yeah.
thereafter.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I didn't know at first.
Okay.
But, I had to run with it,
But it's
because I came
so-
out of the story with the cameraman on my shoes saying, I don't think he liked my shoes.
That
But,
shot
No,
was
dude,
iconic.
you guys edited it perfectly.
Yeah, it was so
That
funny.
dramatic pan to your face. I guess you didn't like my shoes. So good. Well, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
Essentially, we're here to talk about the neighbor situation with Team 10 that surrounded that initial reporting you made.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbors aren't here, but I guess you're familiar with a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know about the situation there, so you're kind of representing them a little bit in this conversation. So I suppose my first question is, like, how did you, get involved in this story?
Interestingly, it's not like people called me up and said, "You got to put this on TV." Oh my God!
Right.
A lot of times that's what we get. You got to do the story. You got to cover the story. You got to put it on TV. And we don't take anything lightly. We consider every story very carefully. It's usually consensus with our bosses and coworkers, and it's sitting around a table and discussing the whole issue. I was originally approached by, we'll just say, someone close to the story, a person or persons in the neighborhood. They simply wanted me to be a moderator at the meeting between the neighbors and the city officials.
Okay, so hold on, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
So there was a city town hall meeting dedicated about the Team 10 chaos.
Right.
Did you know that?
Yeah, we did. We tried to attend it.
Oh my God, were you going to vlog it?
No. We were just wanting to see what people were doing, what was going on. We want to be involved in the drama too, so that we could help fix the situation.
Right.
But we couldn't find out the info on it.
Yeah.
Because Jake, okay, so and so you
And
moderated that.
They
event.
even kept a lot of it secret from me too, because
Really?
once I did the story, no, I did not moderate it. What happened was, while I was interested, and the reason is journalists are always used as moderators for debates,
didn't know that.
presidential
Oh, yeah, I
debates.
didn't know
I guess I guess I did know that.
Presidential debates, town hall meetings, they typically use journalists as moderators. So that's why they approached me. They knew of my work, and I was approached to do that. And while I was interested, I said, now explain to me, though, the reason for this meeting, this forum. And they told me about the situation in the neighborhood. And I said, well, this sounds like a news story. I think it's a valid news story. And I would like to cover it and talk to all the parties involved. You, the neighbors, anyone that wants to talk to me, I want to hear what you have to say. And I felt it was a good story. So a few days later, I pitched it to my supervisors at KTLA, and they agreed. They said, it's a really good story. Go. Get your photographer, get your news van, go out to the neighborhood. And we did that Monday in mid-July. I had no idea what to expect. I really didn't. I was not too familiar with you, but interestingly, when I looked you up, I remembered that you had been on the morning show.
Yeah.
And turns out you had been on our morning show in June of 2016, about a year earlier, promoting something. So I remembered that. And I was like, and in all fairness, and I said that in my story, I said, we've had Jake on as a guest on our morning show. And I don't know what you were promoting, maybe YouTube or Disney, Bizarre Bark or something.
Yeah, I think it was Disney at that time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so, I went there. I went to the neighborhood. I did approach a lot of the neighbors. They did say they were very upset with the situation, but the vast majority did not want to go on camera. Maybe they were concerned about repercussions or retaliation.
Can I ask you,
Yeah,
how many neighbors did you speak to? Because how many neighbors do you have immediately?
A lot.
A lot.
Okay, you
I mean,
have-
I was going door to door. I
Oh,
was
you're
seeing
like, "Hey,
neighbors
I'm from
walking.
KTLA."
A lot of the neighbors came out because they saw the news van there, so
Right.
they would just come out. And I would say, hey, we're doing a story. Do you want to talk? They would tell me how they felt, but they would say, we're not going on camera.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Right.
So most of the people or all the people you talked to had a problem with the Team 10 house?
Yes.
Because-
Honestly, no one said, oh, we don't have, because I would have used that. If one neighbor had said,
Right.
Jake is getting a bad rap, I don't think he's a bad neighbor. I would have used that too. I'm there to collect everything I
It's
can.
crazy because when I talked to them, I went door to door as well.
Yeah.
And like 3 to 4 of them were like, "No, like I hate you." Then literally I would go.
Wouldn't even talk to you.
I started off my conversation with them. I was like, "Hey, we're here. We want to make things better," and like that's how I started the conversation. And a lot of them were like, "No, dude, like you're fine. Like it's all good.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that mad. Like yeah, this has happened, but like well, I understand where you're coming from. So I don't know."
So that's
Oh,
interesting.
snap.
Yeah, I'm just pulling that up for you.
Wow.
Everybody's doing a meme on you where they unsub when you're about to hit it.
They're doing a meme on me.
Well, yeah, like when you're about to hit a big milestone, people unsubscribe just to fuck with you. You know what I
On
mean?
people in general.
Because it keeps going up and down.
Oh,
Interesting.
You'll get there.
hopefully.
Stays there
Career
forever.
ends.
It's really interesting. So you talked to all your neighbors, and 50% said, "I have no problem with you," and then that's weird and wild. I wonder if they just didn't want to confront you about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe they were just like, get out away from me. But
Yeah.
and I think the thing is that a lot of them like are saying that they have a problem with me, when the problem is the fans
Right.
outside. That's what's causing all the problems: the safety, the traffic, the noise.
right.
They're chanting.
Right.
They're Jake.
I guess they
Paul,
blame you though for bringing that into
Exactly.
their
But
neighborhood.
because they think, because of those things, they think I put the address on there. They think that I invite them there. When I act, in actuality, I've tweeted, "Don't come." I've vlogged, "Don't come."
There was that one incident where you like recorded them and accused someone of like taking the bolts out. But let's touch on that later, because I want to continue where you left off.
Sure. So yeah, a lot of them did not want to go on camera. They just said, we really are upset with him and the situation here and the whole, Team 10 house, but we don't want to go on camera. So they didn't. Even I believe right next door to you, Jake, there's an elderly couple. I knocked on their door. They had like the outer wrought iron door open with the, closed, but then the main door open, and I could see them sitting in their living room. And I knocked. I said, "Hello, I'm Chris Wolfe from Channel 5. I'd like to talk to you." And they said, "No, thank you. We really don't want to talk, but thank you." And politely declined. And that was pretty much what I got. And one man did go on camera, but did not want his name or face released.
Right.
So I used a short clip from him, his voice, when he said, "We're neighbors and we're fed up." That was one clip that I used from him. And then
My video
Maytal,
come in here.
the woman in the initial
yeah,
story, was the
definitely.
only
Sorry,
neighbor.
I'm sorry to cut you off
No,
rudely there. Jake was
What
asking if
happened?
he can grab his camera because he's
Nathan.
right about to hit 10 million
Uncle
subscribers,
Nathan.
which is kind of a big milestone.
That's big.
So
Where's YouTube? I need my diamonds.
I can never deny that request as a
Okay.
YouTuber myself. Although I don't know that you're ever going to hit 10 million.
They
Because
just
that
keep
is
on-
just
Oh,
it's
look
gonna-
at it.
fluctuates.
it's gone up and down like thousands in this brief moment.
Well, when it does, I guess. I mean,
You can just close the door and hang until it. So anyway, you can. I think we're going to be here all day, so you can continue. Jake's
Maytal
just
was the only one that would go on camera, who was in the initial story, that said, "I feel like it's a war zone. We're families. We just want a peaceful, quiet street."
Right.
She was the only one I could find that was willing to go on camera. So, of course,
Okay.
I used that. Yeah.
So did it surprise? Yep, it's kind of hard. I think Jake's
oh,
just
snap,
laser
it's about to
focused.
hit it. Oh!
There it is.
Oh!
That looks good. It's gonna.
Oh, snap. It's going to drop
You're
back
gonna
down.
lose it.
I want to vlog with it. Let me see.
All right,
No,
it's
you're
up.
good.
No,
You're,
look.
yeah, you're clean.
Yo. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I almost knocked down the TV. Yo. Wow, you're Jake Paul.
So convenient that you have a giant monitor to celebrate with.
I know. Thank you guys so
Yeah, of
much.
course.
Thank you so much. I
Glad
never
to
thought
celebrate
I'd
with
be
you.
here when I-
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, dude, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right, we can
The grind is
focus
real.
again.
As-
Uncle Nathan's in the corner. Take the vlog. Take the vlog.
As I've said, love or hate you or think you're okay, appreciate the hustle. You earned that 10 million for sure.
Thank you, dude.
Congrats, dude.
I
Congrats.
appreciate that.
So-
Now, YouTube, where's my plaque?
Yeah,
I
get
need
that.
it.
You'll get it in a year.
They take it back though if we cross because you're going back under now.
Oh, no.
You're going
No.
back under. They'll
Oh,
take it back.
Oh,
Are you good?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, yeah, you're good. Thanks, dude. So anyway, oh my God, dude. All right, I'm gonna remove
No,
this.
no.
Yeah, no, remove
No,
it.
don't go back.
All right, let's take this off the screen. It's 10.
man.
You're good. You're
That's
good.
good.
You're good.
I
You're
can't
good.
see it
We
now,
can
so
go.
it
We
doesn't
can
matter.
revisit.
Yeah, we'll revisit at the end.
Yeah.
See where you're at. So were you surprised when Chris rolled up with his van and with this whole story about how the neighbors are all upset? Because you had talked to them before or after, Chris?
Before. I was in conversation with them for a while.
'Cause
just like face to face stuff though, like they would like, and it was always them like saying something to me or like coming over and knocking on the door and being like, "Yo, you can't do this," or "Get them out of
okay.
here," or
So that's how you knew that there was some beef to begin with, because they were coming over and telling you to keep it down.
yeah, exactly,
They ever call the police?
all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like their go-to thing.
So were you surprised when Chris rolled up in his van?
Well, I didn't know. We didn't know what you wanted to talk about.
Right.
I think the only thing you said to someone was they want to talk to you about the neighbors.
Yeah.
And so someone came into the house and was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
Jake, KTLA is outside. They want to talk to you about the neighbors." And so I was like, "Oh, this will be fun."
You know, it was interesting. At first, the female security guard who was out front, she went in and she came back out. She said, "They're not going to talk." That's what I heard. And I said, "Okay, well then, we tried."
Right.
And honestly, that's what I thought. So we went back toward the front of the house with the fans. And within 5 minutes, that's when you ran out. And I was like, okay, I guess he is going to talk.
Here we go.
And here we go.
Let's go.
Here we go.
What were you thinking when you saw Jake climb over the van like a maniac? Were you like, this is some good footage right
Yeah.
here?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was surprised, and, we don't recommend that, and
Yeah.
you shouldn't. It's
Yeah.
dangerous,
You
and
have
there's
to
a
say
lot
that.
of equipment up there, and
Yeah.
you could
But
get
in your
hurt,
mind,
or you
you're
could
like,
damage
climb.
the equipment.
You're like, climb.
Well, what makes
You
good,
you wanted me to climb.
know,
Yeah.
what makes good TV.
You're like, don't do it, but in your mind,
no,
you're like,
no,
get
but
up.
I don't. Yeah, no. And believe me, there have been situations where a lot of the protests in the streets that we've covered in downtown LA near City Hall, where people jump on the
Not the
vans
first
and
time.
start. Not the first time, and that is a frightening situation. But
Oh, yeah.
I
can
mean
imagine.
that is definitely scary. Or they're trying to vandalize the vans, smash the vans, or put graffiti on the vans. That's a very, very dangerous situation. But you were up there. I thought you were just doing. It's interesting. Some people said we can't believe he was disrespecting your job like that. And I said I don't think he's disrespecting my job as much as he's doing his own, which is to be sort of outrageous and whatever, and
Exactly.
jump up on a news van. And
Well, that's
but
what I said earlier.
Please come down, and you did. You got down. So.
Yeah, well, that's what I said earlier. Like, if someone doesn't know me, they're like, "This kid is the worst." But like anyone who like was a subscriber, they're like, "This is the funniest thing I've ever seen." Like, only he would do this. So
Did you guys expect the coverage of this story was insane?
Never.
I have a list, like in locally it was covered everywhere, but internationally you've got the Daily Mail, you've got New York Times, Vanity Fair, Cosmopolitan, and I mean I saw like Seth Rogen tweeting about it. Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
He's not happy with you. Seth Rogen was going in hard.
yeah, I mean, I mean, the biggest thing, like people were hitting me out. They're like, "Bro, Seth Rogen just tweeted about you."
Right.
Like, dude, what are you gonna do? And everyone was like, "Dude, are you worried?" And I was like, "Dude, who made Seth Rogen? Seth Rogen. Who made The Rock? The Rock. Who made Kevin Hart? Kevin Hart. Like, no one makes anyone else." So I think his tweet was like, "I'm not gonna have any part in helping him become a movie star." And I was like, "Dude, you have no say over that. Like,
Right.
like you made yourself. I'm making myself. Like,
Right.
yeah, if you're a producer on a movie, you could be like, screw this kid, but like." He's not gonna be like that. Like, I mean, he's gonna see the light in like who I am further down the line. I'm gonna have to prove it to anyone. Like, I'm gonna have an uphill battle now against like people who hate Jake Paul.
Right.
But obviously, it was like, I mean, it was like a stunt, and like that's not
Yeah.
who I really am.
Yeah.
Well, what was your impression after you came out and you finished, you were done filming and you were in the van going back to the station or wherever? What were you thinking after you got that footage? Did you have any expectation of like, damn, this is gold?
Oh, I knew. Yeah, I knew it was TV gold. I mean, I knew it was a great story, and I was glad that I got all the parties and I could talk to Jake and say, look, this is what the neighbors are saying. What is your response? And I got his answers to my questions, and I got the neighbors' reaction. So I felt that it was a solid, complete story.
What'd you think
And I
about-
knew it was TV gold, but
Yeah.
I never I don't think anyone expected it to go
Yeah, of
viral the way it
course.
did. And within a couple hours, I think we were on the front page of the Daily Mail in London, in Europe.
That's
and then
crazy.
the next morning, someone said, "Oh my God, Chris!" They pulled it up on their desktop, and there it is, front page of the Daily Mail. That's when I knew. I was like, "Oh, this is going viral."
What did you think about Jake afterwards? Because he was putting on an act and a stunt, like.
He
And
was.
What are those? Like, what did you think about Jake when you left?
I didn't think, and I don't think you're a bad person. I really don't. Never did. I mean, I've dealt with the best of society. I've dealt with the worst of society. convicted killers on death row in Florida, in Stark, Florida. So I know what evil and bad is. So I never thought that you were that. I just thought you. I guess I felt that the situation in the neighborhood is very difficult, and a lot of the neighbors simply feel that their sanctuary, their homes have been violated with this presence and these fans and this noise and everything else. And I as a person, as a journalist, but as a person first and foremost, I wish the best for everyone. I think you're a brilliant entrepreneur and you're brilliant at branding and, like you said, selling yourself. And more power to you for that. And this is the land of the American dream, and you're following and building yours. And all of us hopefully are.
Yeah.
And
thank you, man.
But I think there's got to be a good resolution, and I would hope that everyone can live peacefully. The neighbors get their community back and peaceful, and you can do what you want to do. And
you seem to be of the state of mind of like, well, we tell our neighbors not to come. We're in the house, or sorry, we tell our fans not to come. We're respectful in our house and our property. What can we do, right? Do I summarize your?
Yeah, and I think the answer to it, and I've like met with the neighbor, the one neighbor who's like, teeing up like their whole meetings and stuff like that, and we talked about it like for a good 45 minutes, and the only solution to it is for us to move. That's really it. The fans aren't going to listen when I tell them not to come.
Yeah.
Right.
They're going to come.
The cat's out of the bag, so to speak.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Jake Paul is the strongest family out there. I said it on the interview. I'll say it again, Deb.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're going to come. They're going to come.
So dabbing isn't like a solution to dealing with the situation, though.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, unfortunately.
Sadly, some things can't be resolved by dabbing.
Yeah.
So you guys are actively looking to move, though.
Well, we've tried to move even before you guys came.
Yeah.
I can imagine people don't want to let you move into their house.
That's the problem we're dealing with.
They're like, "Who are you?"
We have to go
really?
through like
You're
an
the guy from
alias.
the news.
Yeah, we have to go
Fuck
through like
no.
an alias. Even before that, we had to go through an alias like of someone else's name that like isn't affiliated with us, but like it's still gonna live there.
They're
so
gonna
it's,
be
like,
pissed
weird.
though when they're like, "Wait, who's living in my house?"
I don't think so because in our new house, like you mentioned earlier, like we're not gonna show our address. We're not.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta be.
Yeah, we're gonna be so careful, like
Yeah.
buttoned up. Like we learned our lesson. So yeah, and I want to apologize too. Like if I was being disrespectful at all, like I didn't mean to like diss your shoes, but it was just like an in the moment type thing.
It's okay. My shoes have a bigger fan base now than I do.
Yeah.
You have to set up a Twitter account.
Dude,
for
it blew up
shoes.
your Twitter though.
It did.
Don't
no,
lie.
it did. No,
Don't
it
lie.
did. It did. It really
You were
did.
feeding into it too. You were like,
Yes.
I'm a savage.
Yeah, you were pretty active on Twitter.
I was active on it.
Yeah.
And some of it maybe to my detriment. I mean, I got some blowback. Even some coworkers, I think.
Really?
Although they didn't say it to my face, I heard that they were not happy
With
how involved I was and felt I was being unprofessional. And
Right.
maybe to a degree I was, but I
Well,
felt
you
I
were-
wanted to be engaged, and it was in terms of reach and impact probably the biggest story of my career, which I'd never expected.
How's that
and
make
I
you
was,
feel, dude?
I mean, I don't know. It's
We
like
have
it's a
got
good
the
and bad thing.
We've got the most viewers we've ever had by far. We have 68,000 people watching right now, which is by far the
Live.
most.
Wow.
There's some fucking weird thing, dude. You just pull in
The numbers.
the numbers. Like, it's undeniable. When someone puts Jake Paul on their fucking video, they get double the views.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
How do you? What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I think it's also a problem because it's like because of like situations like this. Like if I do one thing bad, everything like because and again, I'm not a cocky person, but like my brother and I, we are at the top, and so people want to see us fail. People want to drag us down. People want to make stuff up about us, and they want to shine the bad light on us. Because the bottom line, and it's crazy, like people don't like to see other people succeed. Like unless they're genuinely good people, but like I feel like the majority of even like the internet and like people out there just like they don't want to see other people succeed.
Does it feel good though, in a way where you're like, I fucking always pull the numbers, even when people are hating on me?
Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's cool, right?
It's just relevant.
It's relevancy. But to me, I don't want the numbers to be there for the wrong reason, and I think sometimes they are, because a lot of them are people who hate on me, which sucks because like I don't want anyone to hate me.
Does it get to you, all the amount of hate you get?
No, No, not at all. Because, like I said, all publicity is good publicity. I think we were talking about it earlier, like, because of that news story and, like, how viral it's gotten, now, like, anything I do will get press, from good to bad. So I think it's helped me cross that bridge into traditional more. And there are some things where I'm like, damn, that sucks that people are saying this, and, like, I don't want, you know, people to think of me this way. And that's sort of what I care about, but I don't care about, like, what people say necessarily, if that makes sense.
Why is it that you think that people have this like aversion to you, like that people have this general like they want to hate you so badly?
I think it was a snowball effect, kind of.
You think it started with Chris's report, or I guess
Yeah,
it started with Everyday Bro?
It started with It's Everyday Bro.
Yeah, that was the first
You
time we
saw
heard
that
about
video,
you.
right?
I did.
What'd you think about that?
It was interesting.
That
It
sticks
was
in your head,
interesting.
right?
Is that the one with most hates, right, or dislikes? What was the one?
It's
that,
like the 7th most disliked video.
I mean, that's an accomplishment.
It is, and what I say is, like, look at this, number 2 is Justin Bieber.
I
I'll
think
be
that's
Justin
good.
Bieber every day of the week.
Right.
I'm not saying that I am or am as talented as him, but like, if we're, you know, it's someone like him, when he was younger, took all that hatred and turned it into he's the biggest star.
I mean, people respect Justin Bieber now. I don't think
Exactly.
he gets much like, oh fuck that kid, like he used
But
to.
he used to, right?
he
And
used to.
yeah.
He was involved in some issues with the neighbors. Remember?
Was
Yeah.
he? Did he have it
Oh
similar?
yeah, we
They
covered
did?
stories
He leaked
about
his
that.
number.
Really? What
they
was
leaked,
He, I heard the neighbors were saying he was racing his sports car. I don't know if he had a
Oh.
Ferrari or what. He was racing his sports car in the neighborhood, and they were saying, you can't do this. We have small children running around.
Right.
And I heard he got into a fight with one of it, I think a next door neighbor, and it was really nasty, and it got physical. And
like he's
so there were
matured
some
a lot.
issues.
In the recent
well, that's
time.
what I've like. Honestly, I feel like I've learned so much, and I like have such a different respect for like just entertainment in general, and like I've tried to grow from this situation, which I think was what Justin did. Is like I can only learn from these dumb things, and like I said, it's a snowball effect. It was like It's Everyday Bro, then the news thing, and then you know, like the Post Malone thing, and it was all this stuff that added up, where people like kept on getting stronger and stronger.
Just turn
feelings
into like
about me.
a meme kind of, just to like hate on Jake Paul.
It is a thing. It literally is a thing.
Yeah.
It's like if I tweet something, like I got a puppy, and I tweeted about it, and someone like quote tweets it and goes like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you, puppy," and I'm like,
does that bother you?
"No, I'm just like, dude, like, are you that starving for content right now, dude? Like,
Right.
get a better tweet, like,
Right.
like you don't need to drag other people down to build your tower higher."
Does it bother you that everybody on YouTube is making Jake Paul videos and still are?
Kind of, because it's like that's all. Like literally, I think Keemstar's like past 20 videos have
That's
that name
true.
in the title.
It's basically you follow the Keemstar.
Yes.
He's basically Jake Paul 3 at this point.
Yeah, yeah, which I get.
But
it.
like that's what he says. He talks about what's relevant, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, it's the nature of the
What
beast.
I don't like is how they're using me to get their videos they're like more viewed, and then they like try to drag me down. It's like, and a lot of times they're not telling the truth about like my side of the story, and only like the people actually involved will ever know what actually happens. And there's a lot of like fake news and stuff out there, and like, yeah.
Let's talk about the lawsuit. I know that there was, I don't know if it's real, I don't know if it's a rumor, but everybody's heard that the neighbors are mounting a lawsuit against Jake. And I'm sure you're involved in that, right? What can you tell
Well,
us
they've
about
been
that?
telling us, yeah, and they've been saying right now, from what I'm hearing, you are, you know, pulling back. You're trying to make an effort to make the situation more livable and peaceful in the neighborhood. So they're holding back on the lawsuit, but that's still,
okay, so it's
yeah,
not, so what was
yeah,
the
they're
lawsuit?
not ready to take any action right now
Okay.
because they are seeing a change, and hope they want to continue to see, you know, improvements. I think they would like you to take, from what I'm hearing, a bigger stand to tell the fans, although again, we don't know how successful that may be,
Yeah.
but they'd like for you to take a bigger stand to say to the fans, do not come here, you know, to try to discourage them from coming.
It's actually been better because school just started.
Dude, this video, I don't mean to, like I said, this picture's from yesterday, dude. Look at this
Or
on the
like
screen.
2 days ago.
Holy cow. They're right across the street, aren't they? I mean,
This is his house.
all in the street, yeah.
Yeah. And God knows what's on this side.
Wait a minute, didn't you paint over the graffiti on your garage door before? No? And that was
Logan
from
got ya.
yesterday?
Yeah, I mean yesterday or the day before.
Okay,
Like in preparation for this conversation.
okay.
This is very so. Like, how can you take a more strong stand against your fans who are populating outside your house?
It's a tricky thing, because it's like I love my fans so much. They are the reason why I'm at where I'm at, and like they're so loyal to me. And a lot of the ones that come to the house are like the most loyal ones. And so I've, in a nice way, told them not to come, but I can't be like in their face about it, because I don't want them to ever feel like.
But surely there's a polite way to be like, guys, I appreciate you coming, but you're getting me in trouble. Like in a vlog, or put a sign out and be like, please, like, I appreciate that you want to come, show me love, but you can't come
So
here.
it's crazy because my brother got evicted from his apartment
Right.
because people were going to the parking garage across the street and chanting his name they were across
that
the
is
street.
so stupid.
And he made a video. He's like, dude, I'm about to get evicted. They
is
warned
so
me.
dumb.
They warned me. I'm about to get evicted. Please do not come. I'm begging you. Like, I love you guys. He made this video, and still, people
Then the
come.
haters show up and start chanting his name.
Whatever it is, yeah. Like
But you have guards outside. He says, "Don't everybody go away."
yeah. We have a full-time security.
But clearly, it's not very effective.
Well, we can't tell them to get off the sidewalk because it's public property.
What do the neighbors think Jake should be doing?
That's a good question.
What do you think could be done?
I mean, I don't know. I honestly, my feeling is it's probably too late with the fan issue because the address is out there and it's too late. I really don't see any effective resolution to that. If you tell people, please don't come, they're still going to come.
Like I've said, I talked to a neighbor about it, even about the lawsuit stuff, and like the only thing we can do is move, and that's what we're working on trying to do.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What was the lawsuit for, by the way?
Public nuisance.
Public nuisance.
Public nuisance. And I don't know all the details of what
That's a
makes a
strange
public
one.
nuisance,
Yeah, that's a
but
strange one.
that is what they were saying. It's a public nuisance lawsuit.
Well, take it from me. You don't want to be sued.
Oh yeah.
You guys have been sued.
Yeah. For copyright infringement.
What is
It's been
is
going
it
on for
bad?
like a year and a half. Oh, it's been a nightmare, dude.
Do you guys have to go to court and stuff?
We already did like our depositions and stuff. We don't have a court date, but we're just waiting for the judge to say it's a nightmare, dude. So avoid that shit.
And I'm sure the neighbors don't want to be involved
Yeah, of
in
course.
either.
Yeah,
in a
because
lawsuit.
right, nobody. Yeah, people
And
want.
it's so
and
expensive.
Definitely,
for-
and it's time consuming and it's uncomfortable. So, I think they're saying if we feel like we have no other recourse, we're going to do this. But I don't think anyone really wants to
Yeah.
have to take it to
Right,
that
right.
level because
Yeah.
life's too short
Yeah,
for all this
of course,
negativity.
of course.
Yeah.
So is there anything that neighbors want to say to Jake or to the world, or something that you guys want to say?
I mean, again, I'm not. I hope you understand. I'm not.
You're not
I'm
there.
I'm a messenger. I'm not here with the neighbors going, "Oh, Jake, get out." I'm a messenger.
Yeah.
I'm a journalist. I document things and I bring all sides to the table, and that's what I really try to do always, each and every day, and I think the neighbors are saying they're not sure what the ultimate solution will be.
Yeah.
Probably, like you've said, just
Moving out,
moving
yeah.
and relocating, and maybe being in an area remote enough that you can do what you want to do, your stunts, or even greet fans on your property if that's what you choose to do, so long as it doesn't impact
The neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that's? I'm just curious
I think that's
about
the
your
only.
thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's the only solution is moving far away and not showing our address,
Yeah.
and onto a property that's big enough. To,
Well, you need a property with walls.
exactly. Yeah, like a whole wall.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
All right. Good luck with that. Those are expensive.
Yeah.
I saw a vlog. You were looking at like our new place, like teaser. Were you really considering that place? Because it was like that looked like a $50 million plus house.
Oh no,
That was just
clickbait.
Okay, good.
Yeah, got clickbait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
It didn't say
we're out
not
here.
clickbait.
We're out here. Yeah, the view. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you didn't write clickbait in the, or I guess not. You didn't write not clickbait.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
how
that's
you
how
know.
you
Whenever I put not clickbait, it's not clickbait.
Right,
But
right.
if I leave it open ended, you don't know. You don't know.
Right.
And sometimes it's not clickbait, and I don't put not clickbait. So you
Just watch every video.
just
Like
watch every
gamble.
day, bro.
Yeah.
Do it. Really,
Okay.
for real.
All right. Well,
I have a question for Jake. Where do
Yeah.
you see your career going? I mean, what do you want to do in 10 years?
Yeah, that's a good question. I see myself being like 50% social media and 50% traditional. So I want to be, well, I am writing movies. I wrote a movie, acting in TV shows, movies, auditioning, and building up that side of myself, as well on the social side, continuing to create my own original content. And growing that and pushing products through that and pushing my own kind of businesses through that. And I mean, I am an entrepreneur. I have Team 10. I invest. We're working on a couple of tech things. And so I see like the celebrity side of me growing all of those businesses and it kind of being this like ecosystem of things that feed off of each other.
his goal is to be a billionaire.
Yeah, I want to
We
be
were
the,
speaking about it earlier.
wanna be the
Team
world's
10. The
richest.
10 is the 10 O's.
Okay.
So he'll take care of all of us when we're there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
He won't forget.
Don't
about
forget
us.
us.
I'll,
Don't
I'll get you
forget us.
more of those shoes, bro. I got you.
Well,
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming. We had some laughs, some gaffes, got a little serious at some moments, but we
It
worked
was
it
great,
out.
dude.
We worked it out.
It feels great.
Yeah, it was good. And I think it's dope. I think it's cool. I think it shows a lot of character that you came here and confronted all this stuff. So
Thank you.
I
Man.
want to acknowledge that.
Appreciate that.
And congratulations on 10 million.
Yeah. Congrats.
The grind
Yeah.
is real.
Thank you so much, Chris Wolfe,
Thank you.
the
for
legend,
having-
for coming
Thank
in
you.
and
Thank
talking
you.
about this.
It was my pleasure, really. I'm thrilled to be a part of this.
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
really
great.
happy
It was a
it
good
is.
discussion.
How was and I know I'm wrapping it up, but like, how has this been for your career? This whole story.
It brought me to a new level with social media, really. I mean, that I had not seen before.
Right.
It was unexpected and unbelievable.
Well, people from your world generally don't have
No.
much engagement on social
no,
media at all.
No, we're trying to, but this really just took it over the top. And it
Part
was
2.
interest-
I got you.
Part
Part 2. Let's plan it. Let's do it.
Yes, all right.
I was like, what are you about to
Something
do? Pull
else.
down your pants or some shit?
No, no.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it was interesting because this story brought me to your audience and social media and all of you, and it brought you to my audience and more mainstream traditional media.
Right.
And it really was like a crossover that
You guys collabed essentially.
Yeah. It was, and it was a net positive, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been really interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you both. I think you're both very great people. And
I think you're a
appreciate you
great
coming out
person,
here.
too.
Thank you. Likewise.
So,
thank you.
Thank you.
guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really appreciate all you guys and both you guys. And stay tuned. We'll be back on Tuesday for our top of the week. We're starting to do podcast on Tuesday now, so we'll be doing it twice a week. You can find this here and on YouTube as H3 Podcast channel. Thank you, guys. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to everyone who subscribes on Twitch Prime. That's it. See you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Nice. Good job, guys. That was awesome.
Did it.